Good Friday morning, everybody. Today is Friday, September 13th, 2024. This is your Friday morning safety meeting. My name is John Harden. I'm in the safety department. We're located right up here in the Z building on the main level, just close to Success Leasing. Usually everybody knows where Success Leasing is, so if you're here, you have any questions for us, please come up there and see us. This morning I've got Mr. Bill Sprague with me. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, John.
So we're going to cover a couple of things here real quick. First of all, I just walked in there to see what we're having for breakfast, and it's packed. So we've got a good crowd here this morning, and they've got some good-looking burritos back there. See everybody enjoying their food. So let's all give John Blancett and his staff and the staffs at Pittston and Salt Lake City a round of applause for breakfast this morning.
I seen all these empty chairs out here this morning. I thought they heard you and I were speaking.
That's probably got something to do with it as well. So we want to welcome everybody this morning. I see a lot of yellow vests here, so we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Welcome everybody that's out there listening on the socials this morning or later on this afternoon who can't listen right now. So we're going to hop right into things. We're going to go out east to Mr. Rick Iffert. Rick, are you there this morning?
Hey, good morning. How y'all doing out there?
Hey, we're doing great. How are you?
Doing well. I had a great week this week. Nice and sunny this week. No rain at all. Beautiful week this week for us.
Well, we've got a little rain, or it's looking like rain this morning. We really need it down here. So what do you have going on this week?
We had a great class this week. We had a bunch of guys coming in and doing their CDL tests and getting their CDL licenses and getting trucks and hauling freight.
Well, good deal. Well, you're going to come visit Missouri here pretty quickly, aren't you?
Well, I'll be down there for Monday morning, so be prepared.
We're prepared. We welcome you down here anytime. So, Rick, as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please get the microphone in front of somebody and jump in at any time.
I got a couple things for you guys real quick here. This is Richard Brock. Hey, so I'm seeing a little bit of an uptick in trailers that are coming in from out on the road, and they're not having locks on them. So I want to give a reminder out to everybody. If you guys are out there, whether you have a load or not, if you're hauling a prime trailer, that trailer needs to have a lock on it. You need to have an alloy lock on that trailer. If you come in and you don't have that on there, you're going to be issued a service failure, and you'll be getting a call from your fleet manager and probably one of the ops managers. So please make sure that you guys are putting a lock on that trailer. Make sure it's secured. Another thing, we've seen that trailers are getting dropped in some of the yards out there, and they're not in ready condition. We got to have those trailers in ready condition. Dropping them at our customers. We want to make sure it's ready to get loaded so that we can have that trailer loaded up when somebody comes in there. If a good idea, whenever you guys are, leaving those trailers there, or whenever you're picking a trailer up, you're already back there with the doors. You might as well go ahead, snap some pictures of it, show what the condition of that trailer looks like when you do drop that trailer and when you get ready to start that load. And it gives you a little level of protection on that as well. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Richard. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you out there this morning. So that's great information. And yeah, just like Richard said, make sure we have a lock on the trailer. Empty or loaded, doesn't matter. We want a lock on the trailer. So, all right, well, let's go out west this morning to Salt Lake City. We've got Mr. Jonathan Grice. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're great. How are you?
Good. It was 47 degrees this morning, so I think fall's coming up pretty quick for us out west.
Well, you can send some of that our way, but nothing lower than that, all right?
For sure. Otherwise, we had another really great week in orientation. We got a good group of new students coming in, getting ready to start their new trucking careers. I did want to mention last weekend was our company picnic out here in Salt Lake City. We had a really great turnout. I wanted to thank those that came out and put their trucks in the Pride and Polish competition. Wanted to give a special shout out to Roy Bowman, who took first. We had Alex Holt second, and Andrew Davis took third. So I want to give those guys their flowers. Did a really good job. Last thing I wanted to mention before I bring up a guest today, we next week, obviously, Driver Appreciation Week. Out here in Salt Lake City next Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. We are going to have ribs and brisket for everyone available. So if you're out on the yard, feel free to come get some of that delicious barbecue. Before I toss it back over to you guys, I'm going to bring up Andy from our True Salon and Spa, and he's got some updates for everybody.
Hi, good morning. Like Jonathan said, my name's Andy. I've been in the hair industry for 15 years. True Salon and Spa is really unique because you get a great salon experience as well as a barber experience. For Driver Appreciation Week, we have some good deals going on. We have 25% off all services and retail products for drivers, free beard trims and an eyebrow wax with any hair service for a driver. And then if you spend $50 or more, you're entered for a raffle for a 60-minute massage.
Awesome. Thank you, Andy. Yeah, anytime you guys are out here, he's available Monday through Friday, so hopefully you guys can give him a visit.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jonathan. And once again, if you guys have any questions, make sure you get a mic in front of somebody. Let's bring it back here to Springfield, Missouri. Come on. Here we go. Is it okay if I go ahead and introduce our new folks?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I don't get to do this very often, and just so we show our respect, and for everybody that's new to Prime, if you would please stand and be recognized, you in the yellow vest. If you have chosen Prime as your new home, we want to say thank you. You are truly family now, so we hope you've done your research on us because we did on you, and you are totally at a company that we say driven by the best, and we mean it, so that means you. So just know that we respect and honor you, and you should have that every day here. So thank you for joining us.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, we've got a great crowd here this morning. We see a lot of yellow vests. So, go ahead and just as Bill said, welcome. I want to welcome all of you first, especially this is your first week here at Prime. We do this meeting 52 weeks a year. So if you're not here, you can catch it on social medias, as I mentioned before. But, when you come to Prime, this badge will get you in anywhere. And we want you to make relationships with your fleet manager, with your log associate, with your payroll associate. Even with us in safety, you don't have to just come down and see us if we tell you to. Stop by, any questions you have, we can answer them. If we don't know the answer, then we'll find somebody here that does. So we appreciate you being here.
Let's hop right into some safety things. We're not going to cover a whole lot. You don't want to hear us talk. We got a lot of really good quality speakers this morning, a lot of good information for you. So we're going to cover one thing, and that's inspections. We cover it every week. This week we had a total of 133 inspections, 96 of those clean. Give yourself a round of applause for a 72% clean rate. We've had the highway patrol get up here and tell us that the average across the board is usually around 40%. So once again, 72% is great, but we want higher, right? We're greedy. We want every one of them to be clean. So I've done the inspections this week. I don't know if you know it or not, but anytime you get an inspection, we're required to review those in the safety department, and then we have to sign them off on them and send them back to the state. The two violations that I really saw quite a bit of this week, overweight violations, which, come on guys, let's know our weights, because for one thing, if you get an overweight violation on a inspection, what does it probably come with? A ticket. That's right. They don't just give you. Now, it doesn't impact our safety score. That's one violation that does not impact our safety score as far as CSA. But that doesn't mean I want you to go out and get overweight tickets, because it impacts your pocketbook. You work way too hard for your money to give any of that back. So let's do better on that. Let's trim this kind of stuff up. I want you keeping that money and sending it home where it belongs. Okay, so know your weights. The second one was log violations. We had a considerable number of those this week, and I'm sure Brennan's going to cover those. We got to make sure we get this CSA score down. Okay, the reason being is this is our report card. When customers are looking at us to determine if they want to give their freight to us, that's one thing they're going to look at. So we as a company have got to do better. We've got to put a better brand out there, and by doing that, we can lower that CSA score down. So when we go into these bid packages, we get a better rate, right? Because that's what it's about, and it shows us to be compliant and a safer carrier. Speaking of log violations, do we want to roll right into Brendan?
Yeah, let's bring Brendan Officer up from our log department here.
We'll
Good
let her
morning,
talk
Brendan.
from over there because of that shirt.
I don't know. Our Pittston friends may appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to keep it real short and sweet this morning. Bill mentioned the log violations, and the popular write-up this week was failure to certify. We had 2 drivers that were written up multiple times for failing to certify multiple days. One was written up 5 times for missing 5 days. The other was written up 4 times for missing 4 days. This is something so incredibly easy and simple for you to do every single day. What you'll need to do is go into your hours of service, click on the Certify tab, and agree. Get in the habit of doing this on a daily basis, because not only is it a requirement by the FMCSA, but there's no downside. All right. We have a lot of drivers who hold off on certifying, thinking that once they certify, they can't make edits. And that's simply not true. If you need to make changes to your logs, you can do so even after you certified. If you prefer your log advisor to make changes, we can only make edits to your log after you certify. So it's so incredibly important to stay on top of this. We don't want you guys written up multiple times for something so incredibly easy, because not only does it impact you, but it impacts Prime's overall CSA score. We're seeing Prime being targeted for something so simple, all right? And we don't want our drivers being pulled into additional inspections for something that could be corrected so easily. So with that said, while this was the most popular write-up for this week, we do see other write-ups such as driving in violation or false record of duty status, not logging on duty, not logging personal conveyance appropriately. So if you ever want to gain additional log knowledge, if you just need a refresh, please feel free to attend one of our log classes. We base them here in Springfield over in the Plaza building, Monday through Friday at 13:30 Central. If you're at one of the other terminals, you can catch that class as well. We simulcast out at the exact same time. So if you're in Pittston, go ahead and see Rick in safety. He can set you up for that, or see Ben Williams in Salt Lake and he can get you set up. So with that, do I have any questions or concerns?
That's kind of weird, because on the Qualcomm, you actually have to certify. It asks you to certify ready or not ready. That kind of seems a little negligent to me.
It is, and that's what's unfortunate. You are receiving those prompts often to certify logs that you miss, so pay attention to those prompts and stay on top of it. Any other questions?
One more thing, Brendan, before you leave, there's another violation that I see once in a while, and that's ELD instruction sheet or not having a blank logbook. Where can they get something like that to make sure they have it?
Yeah, so we have logbooks available for free at all the terminals. You can grab one if you're here in Springfield over at driver lineup or at the log department. We hand them out in all of the log classes as well. Those paper logbooks are so incredibly important, because not only are they your paper logs, but you have important resources like the instruction sheet, the malfunctions and diagnostics sheet, both of which DOT is going to ask to see during an inspection. And if you can't provide them, again, that's a very easy ticket. Any other questions?
We call that low hanging fruit. So if everybody check and make sure you have one of those. Anybody out there listening, get your hands on it, make sure you've got it, because that's a violation that we just have to prevent. That's easy to do away with and get that off our CSA score.
Absolutely. All right.
Anybody, any other questions? Thank you, Brendan.
Thank you.
Get a new shirt.
Well said, Bill. All right, we're going to bring up Colby with our driver health and fitness now. He wanted a few minutes here this morning. I might have left him off, but we're going to squeeze him in.
No, you didn't. How are you? Hey, good morning, everybody. So I'm Colby with our driver health and fitness department. And I know every week we get up here and try to give a health tip. And, last week we talked about our 5K and everything. And what we want to talk about this week is, and Rachel and I were talking about, is logging things, meaning you can log anything, whether it be food, whether it be walking. We have our website that I want to challenge you guys to use. On our website, Driver Health and Fitness, we actually have our walking club. In the month of October, we're going to do a little challenge, and we'll promote a little bit more about a competition for drivers of who can log the most miles, but also who can also log the most attempts, or let's call them the most days. And that'll just be something, because again, we want to talk about is building a routine, right? And sometimes building a routine would be doing something, obviously doing it over and over and over and making it a habit. And again, that's, if it's part of walking, I encourage you to get out of your truck, walk. We talk about food, logging the food. Rachel talks about the importance of logging food as things you can learn. And I always say it's true. Like if you're talking to somebody like Rachel and you go to log some food, it may change your path of what you're going to choose. Like, you know what? Don't really want to log this, so I'm probably not going to eat this, right? So those kind of concepts. So this week it's just write stuff down, log things, use our website. We're a massive resource. We'll help you any way we can. So I'll be down here if you guys have questions. We're also going to post a video of how to log miles. It's real simple. Just go to our website, click Walking Club, and then you put in your driver code and your name and how many miles you logged. So if you got questions, I'll be here to answer any way I can.
Real quick, what's
Yes.
the website?
driverhealthandfitness.com.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That's it.
All right.
Questions?
Anybody have any questions for Colby? Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
That was quick enough. Thank you.
No.
All right, give Colby a round of applause this morning. Okay, so our next presenter this morning, as everybody know, we've got a new healthcare provider downstairs in the basement, Command Health. So we're going to bring up Dr. Luke Van Kirk this morning. Good morning.
Morning. Hey, so I'm Dr. Luke, Command Health. It's been a few months since I spoke up here, but the first time I spoke at the safety meeting, I mentioned that we are going to be rolling out it's called direct primary care membership. And so wanted to touch on that again because we're going to be allowing people to sign up for that come October 1st here in a few weeks. And so what that entails is you'll pay us a flat monthly membership, which will range from, if you're individual, $85 a month. If you're signing up as a couple, it'll be $75 a month each. If you have any kids you want to sign up, they're $29 a month with at least one adult in the household signed up. But what that gets you is you get direct access to your provider. You get their cell phone number. You can text them directly. You can email them directly. If you do need an appointment, we do longer appointment times, 60 minutes for your first appointment, 30 minutes for follow-up appointments. And then you also get access to wholesale prices on prescriptions and labs and most procedures that we can do in the office. So essentially what we're trying to do is eliminate the need for insurance for primary care. Really shouldn't be using insurance for primary care. It's like using car insurance to get new tires. You can expect to have to use them or have to replace them every so often. So primary care should be the same way. Some things to note, particularly for Prime. One, if you do sign up for the membership, there won't be any extra fee for your DOT physical. And then for drivers, as far as being able to text and email and call your provider directly to get those telemedicine benefits in Missouri, you'll need to see us physically in the office first before we can provide those telemedicine visits if you're out of state. So I'll open up for any questions if anyone's got any questions. All right, and real quick, our new website we have here is command-health.com, and you can actually sign up on there. Like I said, October 1st is when you'll be able to start using that membership. But if you do sign up, we won't charge you until we see you physically, since we can't provide a lot of the benefits until after we see you physically.
All right, thanks, sir. Great service downstairs. Like you say in the plan, if you haven't taken advantage of it, please do so. Just another amenity here at Prime, when you're here on the yard to make everything a little bit easier for you this morning. So
It's extremely convenient, and they have really great people down there. They truly respect our drivers, and they take good care of our drivers. And that's what it's all about.
absolutely. So next, I'm sure everybody saw the crowd over here. So we're going to kind of do this a little bit early. We're going to kick off Driver Appreciation Week, which officially starts this coming Sunday. So we've got Terry with Abacus, and you've brought a bunch of friends with you this morning.
I did. I've got a lot of people here. First and foremost, let's get a few things out of the way. For you lease and owner ops, independent contractors, the 15th, actually the 16th, Monday, your third quarter estimate is due. Make sure that you're paying that. Also, October 15th is the last time to get your tax return done if you had an extension on it without a penalty for filing. So make sure that you do that as well. So those are some very important things that you need to know. Also start getting ready for next year because tax season will be here. But the reason I have all of this group here is because I'm not for sure if you all really truly realize what you do touches more people all over the United States than any other industry. You do. Everything that we need, that we want, that we have has been on the back of a truck. Think about it. Everything. And so we know that we count on you for everything that we do. And we just want to show a little bit of our appreciation because again, we wouldn't be here without you. So I just can't thank you enough for all that you do. And our whole group is here. I've got a lot more. They're still on the phones working for you all, but I brought this group here because we got some goodies here that we want to hand out to you, but also just so you know that we care about you and we think about you. On the back of this other shirt here, turn around, Candace, it says, "We count on you every mile." So thank you all for what you do. Appreciate you. Okay, you guys go on that too. Go ahead and hand them out.
Thank you, Terry. Once again, just another one of those amenities you talked about, John, that's the one-stop shop. When you get here, you don't have to leave. You can get it all done at one time.
Absolutely. So we're going to tag on to Driver Appreciation Week starting Sunday. So everybody have your Prime apps out Sunday. That's when we're going to kick this off. So as a bonus for this year, Sunday morning at 12:05, right, Mitch? 12:05 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you're an A seat, you're going to receive 7,000 points on your card, $70. So as appreciation, we want to say thank you. Prime wants to say thank you. Robert wants to say thank you for everything that you do out there. You guys are truly the backbone of this company. Without you guys, this doesn't exist. So we appreciate you. B1, B2, and C seats, you'll get 5,000 points on your card Sunday morning. So please be watching out for that.
And also, I think Jonathan out in Salt Lake alluded it to a little bit. We're also going to have, and keep an eye on your app because there's going to be some free food locations. So make sure you watch at some of our terminals. There will be free food. So keep an eye on that app. It's a great tool. That way you can see what's going on and where at.
So yeah, so thank you. We're going to have some more speakers next week that'll probably have some goodies as well. So we look forward to that every year. So we're going to move right along here. We're going to bring up Stan Casterkey this morning, and Stan's going to talk to us a little bit about backing. You're in our training program here at Prime.
I've been in training for about 42 years now.
42 years. So tell us.
I've been married for 42 years. So.
Tell us a little bit about what you do out there.
Hey, good morning, May. How are you? I hadn't seen you this morning. So good morning. So my name's Stan Casterkey. I work in the driver training area here at Prime. We have 3 locations: Salt Lake City, Utah, Springfield, Missouri, and then Pittston, Pennsylvania. We have folks going through all 3 of those locations with their permits to learn how to be a professional commercial motor vehicle operator. As we go through these processes, and for those of you who have been through the program or have obtained a CDL, you had to pass backing, right, to get your CDL. Easiest thing there is to do. No, it's not. Jamie says it isn't. But you know what? It can be easy. We just need help sometimes, right? Can anyone tell me what GOAL means? So in the trucking industry, there's an acronym, GOAL. Get out and look. Okay, so Bill, my lovely assistant Bill, is passing out gold stickers. We want to make sure that everyone has those. Anytime that you back, you want to make sure that you GOAL. Now, for flatbedders, you don't have to get out and open your doors, right? You shouldn't. If you're opening doors, it probably is the product. For reefer drivers, you have to get out and open your doors to back into a dock. We need to pay attention. We need to make sure that we know what we're backing into. We're backing into some of these docks sometimes that are dark. You can't see, especially if it's really bright outside, you can't see anything. Make sure that you're using GOAL. You're getting out and looking to make sure that there's no obstacle there, no person there, or anything like that. 25% of our accidents here at Prime are backing accidents. And another interesting fact is it's not our rookie drivers who are having those backing accidents. It isn't. Typically, it's a person with at least a year of driving experience that's having that complacency. Complacency sets in. Yeah, for some of you, you say that's still a rookie driver, just 1 year. But we're always rookies, right? Okay, we got to remember that. But just making sure that you get out and look, that you're paying attention to what's going on around you. Sometimes in these forward movements, we got to check as well. So do you know that safety pays? Well, sure it does. Yeah. If you have an accident, it may cost you money, and deductibles and things like that. But also, if you're a safe driver, as a solo company driver, you're going to earn 5 cents per mile, between 17 to 26,000 miles if you're driving a lightweight truck. If you're a solo company driver and you're driving a full-size truck, you're going to earn 5 cents per mile for safety, between 2,000 and 2,500 miles. I'm doing this without, 2,900 miles. Team company drivers, you're going to earn 1 cent per mile for safety plus 1 cent per mile for service on miles over 4,000 in a week, no cap. Okay. An independent contractor, if you're a solo independent contractor, you're going to earn 5 cents per mile and 5 cents per mile for service between 2,000 and 2,500 miles. Team independent contractor are going to earn 2.5 cents per mile for safety, 2.5 cents for service between 4 or over 4,000 miles a week, no cap. And one more, longevity incentive has a 12-year mark, safety and service incentive for solo contractors increases from 5 cents a mile to 7.5 cents per mile. Safety pays, right? This means yes in Missouri. Thank you. Okay. And I think Utah and PA too. So be careful out there. Get out and look. You know, it's as easy as what Brennan talked about, certifying your logs. It's as easy as what Bill talked about on some of the subjects he talked about. You know, we just got to do it right every day. We're that good that we can do it right every day. I truly appreciate everything that you all do. Thank you to those of you who have chosen Prime. You are our family now, and we appreciate you choosing us. Thank you.
Thank you, Stan. Hey, real quick, while you're up here, you know, you mentioned it's not just to use goal whenever you're backing. It could be moving forward too, right? In those parking lot type situations, you mentioned 25% of our total accidents are backing, but you know, just as another stat, I just ran the numbers yesterday, 70% of our accidents are either backing, stationary object, or parked vehicle. So those are all low speed parking lot, customers, fuel stop type situations. A lot of those are beginning of the day, end of the day, right? So maybe give us a little bit of advice or maybe some tips about, you know, making sure that we're focused 100% of the time, no matter what kind of movement we're making with the truck.
Well, you know, thank you for saying that, John. So we just have to make sure, especially as a new driver, most new drivers, people who are just getting into the industry, getting into your own truck, it's usually those slow forward movements where they're cutting the corner too quickly, you know, and they're hitting the vehicle with their trailer, turning back into the road too quickly and getting the trailer off in a ditch and getting stuck. It's not a serious situation other than it impedes the flow of traffic. It impedes your progress. So yeah, just making sure that you're checking your mirrors. It's so important that you do that. Watch out for other vehicles. Watch for brake lights. Watch for headlights coming on when you're going down a row of trucks. If you see flashing lights or you see headlights on, you know, anticipate that person is going to be pulling out or going to be backing out. So they're just those little keys that you have to watch for. You have to be alert at all times.
All right. Thank you. We appreciate that. Does anybody have any questions for Stan? No questions. All right.
Awesome. Thank you for all you do.
You know, if you go onto your Prime app, the weekly safety staple this week, we talked about backing, and I had Stan put together something for that. So if you haven't listened to it, please do so. And you know, like we said, these low speed type accidents, they still cost you time, and time costs you money, especially if you've got any deductibles, if you've got downtime in a shop. So just please take your time, be safe. We don't want you out there sitting in the shop. We want you out there hauling freight.
As many times as it takes to get out and look to make sure we don't make contact anything, you're going to save that time by not having to report an accident.
And if you're a new driver, because I see a lot of yellow vests, you know, I used to get this a lot as a fleet manager, get a phone call, have a little accident like this, and maybe somebody felt pressured. Maybe they felt like they were blocking the fuel aisle. Maybe they felt like they were preventing somebody from getting in a dock. You know, the other folks that are out there pressuring you, they're not going to have to pay a deductible. They're not going to have to sit in the shop. So, you know, it is what it is. Take your time, do it the right way the first time, and we don't have to worry about any of that. We have a question right here, Keith.
before he starts, and you new folks, make sure you listen to this, what Johnny's saying. Do everything at your pace. You know, how long it takes you to back into a spot may be different than a 20-year veteran that might be sitting at a table next to you, right? The comfort level is going to be different. Don't let anybody put you outside your comfort level.
Well, to add to it, like you're saying, is as a team, if I need help backing up, I'll wake up my co-driver.
Can you
Say-
trust her?
I hope it's my wife. But even as a solo driver, if you're having problems backing or you're not sure, ask somebody around you, spot you, help you. Don't be ashamed to ask. I mean, it's cheaper to ask someone than pay for damages.
Absolutely.
That costs a lot more than that.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, let me
Sean,
jump in
we
there
have
for a
another
minute.
question right here. Oh, go ahead, Rick.
You know, if you're going to use a spotter, make sure that if you're going to use hand signals and everything like that, you work it out in advance that you know what the hand signals are. You know, that makes a big difference. You know, somebody could be stopped, they put your hand up, but it could be coming back also. So know what those hand signals are.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a lot of times when we're out on the road, if you're in a real tight spot, there are people that, you know, good intentioned and they volunteer to help you and they come and want to help. But the thing you have to keep in mind is even if somebody's helping you, if you don't feel comfortable, you have to get out and look. And sometimes they get offended, you know, oh, I'm here to help you. But, you know, the bottom line is we're responsible. And if they're directing us and something bad happens, it's still our responsibility. So it's just got to be your own comfort level.
Absolutely. And that's a great point. And, you know, in case you couldn't hear him, he said, if you do have a spotter, if somebody volunteers, you know, and Bill and I can attest, we get this one. We've seen it here a couple of times in the past few weeks where somebody is helping a driver into a dock that maybe works at that customer and we have a little fender bender, but ultimately, you know, we're operating the truck, we're responsible. So even if you're in that situation with the spotter, get out and look if you need to.
I've only been here for a year myself. The biggest thing that I actually will always say, IDAF. You know, the biggest thing is I really don't want to cause any money to the owner of the truck or to the company itself. I have no problem knocking on the door if somebody's sleeping, blocking the entry or the exit way. I'll wake them up, knock on the door. Hey, guy, you need to move your truck. Or even backing up, I have no problem asking the guy next to me, you know, because obviously he doesn't want his truck getting dent or dinged or anything like that. But also, just like how the other guys just said, just take your time. Take your time, get out of your head. Don't even think about it.
I'm glad you brought that up. One thing I want to say when you're doing that, treat others the way you want to be treated. That's one of our big lines here. And the reason we say that, if you beat on that person's door and you wake them up and say, hey, you're over the line, move your truck, are they going to be receptive to that? No. But if you knock on the door, get them up and say, hey, I apologize to have to do this. I know you've been asleep. I don't want to hit your truck. Do you mind helping me out? That same question, just worded differently, is going to go a long way on how they respect you and get out and help.
Good point. So any other questions about that? You know, one thing that I'm going to add on, speaking of weekly safety staples, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the chain law, the chain advisory on the Prime app has been updated. So if you're unsure how to get there, you can come see me over here after the meeting. You can also see Richard and Brianne right here, but make sure that you're aware of what's going to be required for the states you're traveling in. If you don't already have chains, cables on your tractor, please do so. Colorado's already in effect now, and there's going to be other states soon to follow here within the next 30 days. So don't miss out on any freight opportunities. Don't get yourself fined like we talked about earlier, so make sure you're prepared.
Let's go on to the next speaker, John. Looks like we got a fleet manager here to share some good information with us, Sean Stacy.
Morning, Sean.
Morning.
All right, so Sean, you're a reefer fleet manager. How long have you been here at Prime?
Just shy of 10 years now.
So just shy of 10 years now. Okay, hold that up just a little bit closer there so we can hear you. All right, so always been on the refrigerated side, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what have you got for us this morning?
Okay, I'm probably going to duplicate what you'd said earlier is make sure we scan every piece of paper you have in of your bills. Here recently, we've been getting proof of delivery receipts not scanned in. So customers are not wanting to pay. we're having to go through extra steps to try and find these. And it's just something that you want to scan in every single piece of paper, receipts, delivery, everything for it, right? The second one is we're coming up on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, some of our big holidays everybody wants to take off. With that being said, is you have a lease payment, no matter if you're working or if you're not. So you want to make sure you have an e-fund set up so you can afford those time off with your family, right? So this is one of the big parts of being out here is, being away from the family. So saving the money so that you can afford that time off.
So good point. We're also we talked about the chains a little bit. So we're going to have some weather delays. So,
Yes.
Everything like that goes into preparation for taking time off. And you're right. You got fixed costs if you're a lease operator. So have you always been on the lease side?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. How many trucks do you have right now?
I have 75.
75 trucks right now. Okay. So talk a little bit about, outside of preparing for going home for the holidays, we've got the snow that unfortunately going to hit out west here soon and then proceed across the country. So what kind of, preparation can a driver do, for their well-being on the truck as far as gear, talk a little bit about that. That's important as well.
All right. Well, being prepared for it, knowing if you're going to go into cold climates, getting, jackets, getting, let's see here, gloves, boots, everything that you need for that kind of weather. If you are going into those areas, look at the weather for where you're going into, trip plan that. So if up in Nebraska, they're having shutdowns because of wind, because of ice, you may look into other routes, talk with your fleet manager about routing out of that area to keep you safe and keep yourself on time. So we could also go to customers and say, hey, we have to add about 300 or 400 miles to it just so that we can keep on time and not shut down for 3 or 4 days out here. And I'm sure they'll be happy to help and, approve those miles for us.
So good point there. We want to keep an eye on the weather, and trip planning is huge anyway for a successful business, but even more so going into the winter months. So, I think I saw you in a Primeways magazine maybe last year.
Yes.
And you got a hobby outside of Prime. What is that hobby?
I do jujitsu, and I've done it for about 4 years now.
Jiu-jitsu. Okay. So tell us a little bit about that. Do you compete in tournaments? Is it for fun or?
For fun and for health, of course. It is a good way to keep your body limber and not, get the gut that I have had in the past. So.
I wouldn't know about that.
But I've done about 30 tournaments, traveling from here to Vegas to Florida to California, all over. So.
Well, that's pretty cool backstory. So, while we've got a refrigerator fleet manager up there, does anybody have any questions at all for Sean this morning? No questions. All right. Well, Sean, we appreciate it. Appreciate the tips. And Sean may stick around here for just a little bit. If anybody has any questions, feel free to come over here, say hi to Sean. So give him a round of applause this morning. The preparation, food, water, supplies, clothes, all of that's very important. I mean, what's the number one commodity out there on the road? It's you guys, right? So you want to first and foremost think about yourselves. And that's a key ingredient right there, is making sure you're prepared. You never know whenever a road's going to be shut down due to weather. You never know whenever there might be an accident in front of you that you're going to have to stop. So just make sure that you've got supplies on your tractor to make you comfortable if you're ever in that situation.
And take care of your bodies. Okay, you've heard from Driver Health and Fitness. You've heard from our on-site doctor's office. They're here for a reason. That's because this industry can take a pretty rough toll on drivers, right? We don't want that to happen to you. We want better for our drivers. So utilize those. Make sure you're thinking about your health. Get with Driver Health and Fitness. This sedentary lifestyle takes a toll after a while, but not if you get the exercise tools you need, not if you get the nutrition tips that you need from them to make sure that you can have a long, healthy lifestyle driving a truck.
All right. So real quick, we mentioned the Prime app quite a bit right there. So how many folks are very comfortable with using the Prime app? Think you've got it figured out. So I'm with the other crowd that doesn't have their hand up right now. So if you're here in the terminal in Springfield and you're unsure of anything on the Prime app, please come up here and talk with Richard and Brianne. They're sitting right here to my right. They are the experts. They know everything. We can fumble through it a little bit, you know, if you come by the safety department, but these two know everything about it. So that's really a lifeline here into Prime, you know, as far as your bill of lading, information coming out, communication with your fleet manager. I mean, it just does so many things and makes everybody's life so much easier. So please familiarize yourself with that if you haven't already done so.
I think we're ready to move on to the next speaker. I think we've only got a couple left. So can I have just a few seconds here?
Yep.
I had a driver ask me to do this, so I'm going to mention it. And I know I mentioned it last week, but you're going to find out here at Prime, especially if you're new, this company gives back to a lot of organizations. And one of the organizations that it donates to is the National Fallen Firefighter Fund, supporting heroes. And I get the honor and blessing to be a part of that. Every year around 9/11, they have a stair climb event here locally. Everyone, except you younger generation, will remember where we were on 9/11, correct? On 9/11, what you may not know, the magic number 343, and the reason that that is a significant number is that's how many firefighters were lost at the World Trade Center. Now, those 343 brave souls gave their lives to save others. Has anyone heard the name Oriole Palmer? Does anyone know what Oriole Palmer, what that name or who it was? Oriole Palmer was a firefighter for the New York Fire Department that was known as the fittest firefighter in the department. And he just happened to be the one that made it to the 78th floor of the South Tower and called in and let them know that he had made it to the impact zone. Minutes later, that building collapsed around him. Every year, Prime participates in an event called the Springfield Area Memorial Stair Climb, where associates, drivers, many people in the local community and firefighters get together and we climb 110 flights of stairs to honor those 343 firefighters. Now, every one of us is given an ID badge just like I'm wearing around my neck, but it has one of those heroes on it. We get to hoist them up and we get to do the job that they didn't get to finish that day. On the 78th floor, the floor that Oriole Palmer made it to, we'll stop and ring the firefighter bell and call out the name of that hero. And then we finish their climb. I couldn't do this without the support of every single person in this company. We have so many drivers. We've got a driver in this company. He probably doesn't want me to mention his name. For years, he has supported this event. He's got a very close tie to it because his kids went to school with one of the fallen firefighters' father. Every year he supports this event. We talk about health and fitness. He's went through a fitness journey. He's lost enough weight. He's climbing with us this year. We're going to make sure he gets to climb for that individual that he knew. But it's little stories like that. And every one of us that get to climb, we get to do our research and find out that that person we're climbing for in this 9DB badge, right? They have a history. They have a story. Every one of them sacrificed their lives just to save others. Any of you that follow the documentaries know that after the South Tower collapsed, they made a call for all firefighters to exit the North Tower. Did they do that? No, they did not. They did not leave. They stayed until those buildings collapsed. And how many people did they get out that may not have if they hadn't done that? So we owe them the honor and respect of every year, showing that we have not forgotten. So I am so blessed to work for a company that sponsors this type of event. There's many events that this company does this for. I'm going to tell you, it's not just this one. This one just happens to be near and dear to my heart. But thank you to every one of you that support it. Thank you to our vendors in the back. It is next Saturday, a week from tomorrow. You still have time. If you want to join the team and climb, we want you there. If you don't think you can make it the whole time, that's okay. Not everybody can just go climb 110 flights of stairs, right? But I bet you could walk around the track. And I bet if you remember what you're doing it for, you'll make it, right? And if not, we'll pick you up, okay? We'll support you along the way. Just do it in remembrance and we'll all be good, right? So thank you for that. I think Keith's got some special guests. Oh, okay. Steve's going to come up.
Yeah. No, we all have special guests.
Yeah,
Hey, Bill, thanks very much for what you do for the stair climb. Before I introduce our special guest, I want to bring Sean back up here just a minute. I think you got off just a little too easy, Sean. Get up here. Come on, man.
Yes, sir.
And here's why. Other than you all, our driver base, and you that are out there running right now, hauling freight for us, these guys and his peers are really the most important people we have in this company. Now, you don't say that because you're fairly modest, right? But you are a business partner for how many trucks on your board?
75.
75. So during the course of a year, you're coaching, correct?
Absolutely, every day.
And you're looking at how your teams and how your solos are operating,
Yes.
their profitability.
Every day, yes.
So to me, I think sometimes it's misunderstood by our driver base, the importance that you play with their success. You're tied directly to their performance, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Like you don't come in here and you don't make $100,000 just for showing up.
No.
You come in here to help make them successful.
Yes.
So along those lines, I submit to you as operators, you really need to get to know your fleet manager. You need to take your issues, your questions, the uncertainties to your fleet manager. That's what you want, right, Sean?
Absolutely. It makes it a lot easier to make you guys successful, to keep you running, knowing where there's shortfalls, knowing when there's pressure, just being able to be there for you guys.
So I just want you all to understand we're all in it together. We are all a team. And there's nobody more important in our company than Sean and his teammates. So use them, lean on them. They're going to help you be better. They're going to help you be successful. They're not trying to eliminate you or create issues. Just have the courage to get to know them. I expect, Sean, they have your cell phone, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Everybody on your board has your cell phone.
Somebody texted me at 10:30 last night and I was talking to him about it.
There you go. So we're all kind of 24/7 here. And Sean, I just want to thank you for what you do, because without you and without our operators, they certainly don't need me. Okay? Thank you very much, Sean. Appreciate you coming out. So I just wanted to highlight what our fleet managers do. I think it's extremely important. Now, we do have some really important guests here that have taken time out of their schedule. You know, without shippers, without partners that ship freight with us, they don't need me. They certainly don't. We may not need as many trucks. So Keith, you want to come up here? And Keith McCoy is Director of Marketing and Sales here. So come on up here, introduce your guests, and thanks for what you do.
It's my pleasure to bring these gentlemen up. Prime is very proud of the relationships that we've had and the longevity of a lot of the relationships we've had. And these folks we've been doing business with for 30 years. They're just a fantastic customer. They do the right things on their accessorials. They pay tolls as a line item. They've got a great truck order not use charge. They believe in high velocity, so they do drop and hooks on both sides of the product. So they're in this with us for productivity and for helping the drivers perform and make a good living out of it. So the two gentlemen here, Brendan Stinson and Kevin Santori from Shaw Industries in Dalton, Georgia. They're in the flooring business, and I'll give them an opportunity to visit with you a little bit.
Yeah, hey, I appreciate it. First of all, thank you so much for having us here.
There you go.
We have absolutely enjoyed this visit. Every time I come here, I get more and more impressed at just the family atmosphere that I see. You know, it's funny, you guys are already starting to celebrate Driver Appreciation Week, but one thing I can certainly say, it feels like from top down in this company at Prime, everybody appreciates the drivers day in, day out. They dedicate their time to making sure that you guys have a great quality of life. We want to do the same thing as a shipper. It's very important for us at Shaw to be a shipper of choice. And what I mean by that is not just paying bills on time, but most importantly, we want to get you guys moving in and out. We want to be respectful when you show up to our facilities. We want to make sure that you guys have a great experience when you come to a Shaw facility. So whether you're picking up at one of our hubs in Northwest Georgia or down in Savannah or Cypress or delivering to our regional network, I'm hoping that you guys have a positive experience. And if you don't, we also want that feedback. We want to hear back so we can improve, because at the end of the day, what you guys do is incredibly important. the reason why we do so well and have such good customer service is because of fantastic men and women like you in trucks every day. I know sacrificing time away from home and family to make sure that we can take care of our customers. So I just want to give a heartfelt thank you to everything you do, and welcome to all the new Prime associates. I see the yellow vests on, so I think you're going to love this company. Again, I can't say enough about it. I've been so impressed every time I come here. So
We appreciate that. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, just real brief. I can't top Brendan. That was fantastic. But hey, just wanted to thank you all. You know, I've been with Shaw for 26 years in the trucking industry, going on 44. I love this business, and what makes it fun is what you all do out there. It's a hard job, but you make it happen. Shaw, you know, is very respectful and understanding of what you need. We try to do the right thing. We're not perfect, but I can tell you this. We love Prime. We love them hauling our freight. We've got 30 regional distribution centers across the country. You're in some of them. And hey, we hope that one day some of you in the room get to stop at Shaw. But thank you. This leadership team is the best in the business. You know, it's not hard maintaining. It's hard maintaining relationships, but we have a partnership with Prime, and we truly believe in the value that both of us bring to each other. So again, thank you. Enjoy your week next week, and appreciate you having us today.
Thank you all very much. Thanks for all you do for our company. Thank you so much. Hey, Keith, thank you. Great job, Keith. Thank you very much. So, you know, we have a lot of people wearing red today. It's again, one of those things that we believe very strongly about. And so that means that we're going to remember everybody deployed. And to that end, everybody that has served in the armed forces, would you all please stand and be recognized for your contribution and service to our country? Thank you all. Thank you very much. Okay, so now I think we've got, well, I think we need Daryl and Robert to come up.
We do.
And let's see here. We got a special presentation. Come on up here, you guys. Yeah, you can take this right here. Go ahead. What do you got?
All right, so we've got a special presentation this morning, as Steve mentioned. So we're going to ask Pam Linhart in our safety department. She handles all of our Million Mile program here. So please give Pam a round of applause. And we're going to bring up our real guest of honor, Mr. Robert Butts, this morning. So Robert, come on up here, please. And Gary Broderick. Gary's his current fleet manager, so we're gonna bring Gary up there, and you know, I'm gonna kind of steal the mic and probably some of Gary's thunder here for just a second. I had a call this morning from another associate here at Prime that couldn't be here because he's under the weather, but Mr. Ryan Summers, former fleet manager, current sales coordinator here at Prime. He had a lot of great things to say about you this morning. You guys go back to what, the mid-90s, I think, here at Prime?
Well, I've known Prime since 1998.
1998. So a couple of things that Ryan wanted me to mention about you this morning is, you know, not only is Robert a great safe driver out there on the road, you know, great ambassador to Prime with our customers, you know, he goes above and beyond without having to be asked to do so. So he mentioned you at the Dallas yard. You know, you're always doing the right thing. He said one of the greatest characteristics is you're always doing the right thing, regardless of what the situation is. You're always thinking of others, and you're making life easier for a lot of drivers out there on the road. So Ryan wanted me to mention that. He wanted to say thank you for everything you've done, and we're truly blessed to have you here at Prime.
So Robert, I knew something was going on when I saw you in here earlier in the week, because you never hang around. So you probably had a hint that maybe there was going to be something special going on today for you, but could you just share just a little bit about what it takes to achieve what you have achieved here at Prime on the safety side?
I would say that being a professional, having pride in your job, in the company, and understanding that the customers that you get are your customers. They're just not Prime customers, they're your customers. Because without them, we can't do our job. We wouldn't have a job.
Well stated.
Robert, those are great words and absolutely the truth and the way we feel about it. Again, I want to join others in thanking you for what you've achieved. You're a superstar. You're my hero. And we're just really, really proud of you. It's quite an accomplishment. And I thank you for your contribution to Prime success.
Thank you.
I think we get some pictures and keep moving. What do you say?
Let Daryl talk. He don't get a chance to talk very often. Yeah.
Go ahead, Daryl.
I think the only thing I was going to say was that, I wake up every day and I say thanks that I get to work for such a successful company. And when you want to understand why we're successful, it's because of Robert. Robert represents excellence. And in my opinion, excellence attracts excellence. So it starts with hiring the very best drivers on the planet. We're very selective. The team we have is incredible. But by being the best, you guys challenge us. You make us better. And we in turn then challenge our customers like Shaw to provide the best freight. We challenge our vendors to provide the best support system. It's just the opposite of the thing you hear about, kind of the death spiral going down. We're a success spiral going up because we challenge each other and we make each other better every day. But it starts with what Robert just did, being an incredibly safe driver. So I just want to say thanks to Robert because that's why we're successful.
All right. Thank you very much. Robert, you can go ahead and wrap this up, man.
Okay. I mean, putting kind of wrap on that, I don't think is really necessary. I mean, that tells the whole story. Daryl explained it very well. That relentless pursuit of excellence, just relentless. I mean, it gets hard, to wake up every morning and know you have X number of miles to achieve and, maybe you didn't sleep that well, but yet, you pull it together and you get it done. Now, if you feel like you're going to be unsafe doing it, you don't do it, right? Just keep on sleeping. But you make tremendous sacrifices, time away from home, what you put up with on the road, even to an extent, your health. And that's why we talk about it a lot. We don't want you to jeopardize years of your longevity for being on a truck. It doesn't have to be that way. Keep yourself in shape. Use these tools that we have here. We've got a lot of people that understand that drivers make it all possible. We have wonderful customers. They're right in the mix. But when it gets right down to it, if you don't have good, safe drivers that are willing to get out there and make the sacrifices and do it on time and safely, you ain't got much of a trucking company. And that's why we have a damn good one here. And we're going to keep on building it as Daryl talking about that upward spiral. We got it going on. We're going to keep it going on. Business is improving. We've been through a heck of a downturn here, right? 2 years has been kind of a struggle, but we've survived it. And in fact, we have made progress during it in nearly every metric that we use to measure our performance. So I appreciate you all. I thank you for what you do. God bless each of you, and please be safe out there.